might call her cubist period. Now she's back on the gravy train with a new series of a hit comedy, Second Thoughts.
What's happened before, Bill?
What?
My ironing not up to your standards?
Well, to be honest, yes, once or twice.
I see.
Now, don't get huffy.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you have a monopoly on ironing skills, you know. I have ironed my own shirts perfectly happily for years.
What about when you were married to Liza?
I have ironed my own shirts perfectly happily for years. And I'm pretty good at it.
Oh, better than me.
Well, you want the truth, yes. You see, there's a special technique for ironing shirts that achieves perfection. Now, you start at the shoe. Faith? Faith?
You can iron that lot.
Welcome, Lynda Bellingham. Why are you trying to sit in my seat? You're so bossy.
I've got,
What?
I have bought Mr. Wogan a little bottle of champagne.
Oh, no.
But this is, this is because last time I was on, if you remember, 4 years ago, I was hugely pregnant. And I made a remark to you about the drink is so awful in hospitality that I brought my own champagne, you see. And I was sitting on the sofa next to a huge footballer. Do you remember? He had a huge, he's now a very rich film star. And when the show had finished, we adjourned to the hospitality room to drink the dreadful BBC wine. And I was going to give Terry a glass of champagne, because I'm a creep. And the big footballer was surrounded by lots of kind of helpers and minders, pouring out my champagne. And I went up to him, and I came up to his kneecap, and I went, hello, excuse me, sorry, hello, what do you want, Lynda? You've got my champagne. And he never, yes.
This is wine, I never heard that story.
So you never got a glass, so I bought you some tonight.
Who was he?
Oh, some old, you remember, bit huge.
Yeah.
You know, he's a famous star. Not
Arnold
Hulk Hogan, but somebody like that. No, not Arnold, no, but somebody similar. But there you are, so I bought you some.
That's terrific. How very kind. We might even open it up if the thing goes well tonight. There's water in them already. They used to give us a carafe of water, which you pour your own, but now they...
Times are hard.
Well, they are. Harder than you can imagine. Now, tell us about that Second Thoughts, because you did it on the radio, and were you worried at all that it wouldn't work on the television?
Yes, I think, because the wonderful thing, well, you know about radio, nobody knows what you look like, really.
Yeah, I got away with that for years.
And they, you know, their imaginations can run riot, and so once they see you on the screen in real life, you're probably, not you, but one is a terrible disappointment.
Oh, no, Lynda, never.
No.
Swipe me, never. Oh.
They're a bit slow, aren't they? Come on.
They are. I don't know what they're doing there.
Yes, they're all thinking hard, ready for Graham Jolly. That's what it is.
Well, I mean...
Yes, but then I think the nice thing was that James Bolam and myself, I like to think, were people did actually know what we looked like and put the voices and the faces together so that when it transferred...
Did you have to change it much? That's, I mean,
yes.
Lines and everything had to
Well,
change.
the interesting thing was we could do much more on the radio. And, I mean, the point about Second Thoughts is that we're romancing second time round, and I've got 2 teenage children and a dog, so it's quite difficult sometimes for us to get together. And in the radio, we had wonderful scenes in the bath, you know, quite... Well, you couldn't do that on the telly, you see. No, well, on the radio, they used to be...
something would start them.
But in radio, you see, you stand with a microphone between you and your scripts, and there's a woman with a bucket of water and a rubber squeaky duck going like this with the water, it seems, squeaking the duck. Well, you don't do anything, do you? So those all had to be cut, of course, for the telly, because I didn't say I wouldn't do bath scenes.
But you see, I think you're selling yourself short. I interviewed you years and years ago, hundreds of years ago, when you were, what were you, in Nurses or...
Yes, Fat Nurse Hilda Price.
You were Fat Nurse Hilda Price. You were still lovely, but you're far more glamorous now. What was it that caused the change?
I honestly think, I
you?
don't think I've changed, Terry. I think that but when I was at drama school, I was told by the teachers I wouldn't work until I was 40, which is quite hard when you're 20, to take. And I'm quite proud of the fact that I've lasted 23 years and grown into my face, as they say.
Yeah, growing into your
Yeah,
looks.
so come 81, I'll be a real star.
Yeah, but I mean, now middle age creeping up, you're happy with that? Are you happy with middle age?
Yes, I'm very happy, actually. I'm happier than I've ever been, and I think that shows in how your career goes in a way. I'm not fighting everybody.
When you do commercials, there's some people say you shouldn't do them because they can hurt your career, or that people will only see you as an ox or mum. But I would have said that was the best thing you've ever done in terms of, first of all, doing it, and it's a great little series in itself. Sure. But it also has helped your career, hasn't it? What
Oxo did for me was people put a name to the face. You know, I probably would still like, if I had anything left to do, find a part. Most actors need that one part that gels for them, and then they take off, you know, and then the audience knows what they're going to see, they trust you, and they will come and see you, and that makes whatever household name means or star. Or
yes, but I think probably the Oxo thing has done that for you. And the strange thing is that you haven't aged. In fact, if you've aged for the better, if I may be so bold.
So have you,
Thank you.
Terence.
But we could probably sit here and talk about me for a long time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you've aged, and your husband hasn't aged badly. He
Yeah,
looks
he's
okay.
all right.
But the kids have all grown into giants and
yes, I know.
away from you.
I know, they are. But that's quite nice too, you see, I think, and that's quite clever about the whole campaign, is it, please God, could go on and on. I will be there with my Zimmer frame, you know, because they've grown and now they can follow the children. Now we can take a back seat and then you can watch the children go on and get married or do whatever they have to do.
Yeah. This Second Thoughts is a kind of, it's two of you meeting the second time around. You've been married before, too. You're on your second marriage. Did you find that you got many divorcees writing in to you and saying, yes, this is exactly what it's like, and all that stuff about shirts and
yes,
children?
Yes. Well, yes, I think, and interesting enough, I had quite a lot of letters from men about the relationship they've perhaps had to have with their wives, the potential wives' children. Because I think the children often get left out. You're busy trying to romance each other. And part of the thing, if you're going to marry somebody who's got 2 children already, is you must get on with the children. You must find your relationship with them. And in fact, we were recording one recently in the studio, and a sweet lady came down after and said, can I shake your hand? I said, certainly. And she said, I'm so glad I came tonight. I'm actually having a terrible time. I'm going through a divorce, and I've got somebody that I'm in love with, and it's all been awful. And she said, it was only tonight that you actually made me laugh, because I could identify with some of the things that are going on, but laugh at them. And I think we all know sometimes you just need to laugh and stand back and...
So you're doing well, and you're fulfilling a sociological want as well.
Don't use big words
I'm
with
sorry.
me, Tony.
Fool to myself. Could you be persuaded to hang on grimly, cling to the wreckage for a little bit?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Lynda Bellingham. Thank you very much. Very good.
What would you like to say the name, Richard?
No, keep the brand name away. Lynda, now I have a feeling I'll need reinforcements when I meet Trigger. Old Trigger from Only Fools and Horses, Roger Lloyd Pack. Now it's music from one of our best young singer-songwriters, whose latest single can be heard on the soundtrack of a forthcoming movie starring Demi Moore. Singing Mysterious Ways, welcome Julie.